Firstly, you guys thoughts on the year, the season?
Yeah, we didn't achieve ultimate success. That's reserved for the world champion. There's an after game, after loss mood that I feel, but so much good to build on that creates a lot of excitement for me and Joe as we build version 2.0. I think the thing that stands out the most is that the player effort and commitment was at elite, excellent. So I'm most excited about that. I mean, I would say an unmitigated success in the area of player commitment and dedication and effort, and also next coaching staff. I give a lot of credit because I can't really think of one player on the team that didn't improve. So a lot of good to improve on. And for me, it's a memory of incredible moments. Yeah. Throughout the season. And I would just tie that back to the players. We said competitors welcome, and watch them, the way they responded to challenges, any challenge, new challenge, was at the elite level, and the commitment at the elite level. So a lot of just as we sit here today, just every win, every improvement, as we build better for version 2.0.
Yeah, I just echo it. Like it was, Coach mentioned it in his press conference after the game, just how it's his favorite team, and he's ever been a part of. And just when you're out there, you see it, the commitment, the effort, not just from the players, from the coaches. You look back at from the organization, from the Spanos family, everybody pulling in the right direction, heading in the right direction. The effort was there, and the energy and enthusiasm. It was a great group of guys to be around. I felt this is my 27th season in the league personally, and just to be out there with the energy and the atmosphere created by Coach and his staff and the players. I mean, it was special. It really was. And like you said, building towards the next step, version 2.0. Here we come.
Coach, why was this your favorite team? What was it about this group of men that made them your favorite?
Yeah, it was just the like I said, the moments. There'd be a thousand. There would be 1,000 moments that were just incredible. And when you're around guys that love football, that love competing, and also, I'm talking about the coaches, I'm talking about the staff, I'm talking about the entire organization. Incredible moments from the fan base. The moments of walking around town and getting the bolt up. Just all those incredible moments added up. It is, and I'm not saying as good as any team I've ever been on. This was the best ball team I've been a part of. And want to build better to make the 25 team my favorite ball team.
How long will the pain of disappointment last?
I can honestly tell you that it's just winning the day, finding each and every way to improve is making that feel better.
You mentioned building 2.0. Just what do you feel like has to improve with the team to get to where you guys want to go?
Yeah, I'd say, we're constantly chasing improvement and competition. And I don't think you look at it from just what specifically, you want to improve everything. You really do. If you focus in one area, you negate others. So I think from a personnel perspective, from an organizational perspective, you have to improve everything. I think that's the goal you set out for yourself every year as an organization, and you attack it, and you move forward, and that's adding more competition. That's improving the way we do things around the building. That's improving, how I scout, how our staff scouts, how coaches, how we develop. I think you always chase improvement, and so I don't think you can really put it into one area.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Joe just said. It's taking all the good, and adding to it. I've never been one of those glasses half empty, half full. If it's good, you add to it, and it's 1,000 little things. It's 1,000 little things that add up to make all the difference. And yeah, we were close. Now we want to put it over the top. Things that people think are the minutia, that don't really matter. It's all those little things that add up to make all the difference.
Jim, in the aftermath of the loss, there's been a lot of criticism directed at Justin Herbert for his performance. How much of that do you think is fair? How much of it do you think isn't?
Completely unfair. I wouldn't spend 2 more seconds thinking about what happened in that game. It didn't go good, and that's on me. That's my responsibility. That's my accountability. I really felt going into that tournament that we were as good as the best teams in the playoffs. Not just as good as any team, but as good as the best teams in the playoffs. And that day, we were not the better team that day. That's my responsibility. We did not play complementary football well enough. My responsibility. And we weren't our best when our best was needed. Again, my responsibility. But to Justin Herbert, I agree with Big Cat. From when he said, if you're the way he said it, I'm probably paraphrasing this, but Big Cat said, if you're selling Justin Herbert stock, then he's buying. So I completely concur with that statement.
You said after the game that you felt like he played like he always does. After watching the tape back, you still feel that way?
Yeah, he again. My responsibility. We did not put him in. We did him a disservice and didn't put him in the positions to be successful enough. But he played like a beast. There's nobody. And that was your question. How do I think he played? Yeah, after watching the tape, I second that. Double down on that statement. There's nobody in this entire organization who gives more blood, sweat, and tears and contributes more, produces more for the entire organization than Justin Herbert.
Yeah, if I could follow on that, I hear the narrative and all that, but there's a lot of great quarterbacks in this league that may not have had the ideal start to their playoff career. Peyton Manning was 0-3. His first 5 years, Lamar Jackson's, it was 0-2. So if we're going to set a narrative on Justin off of 2 playoff games, that's absurd. What I watch this guy do, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. Competitor, leader, playmaker. We'll roll with him. They're going to roll me out of here before they roll him out of here. I can promise you that. He's special, and special things are ahead for him. So, book it.
Could the narrative be that he's an excellent quarterback? He obviously played at a super high level this year, led you guys to the playoffs, and just had a bad day, or a day that's not up to his usual standard.
That could be your narrative. There could be other narratives that Joe's referring to that he's hearing. It's I'm not gonna take the time to even buy into any of that. Like I said, Big Cat's narrative. I agree with that one. That's the narrative that I agree with.
Do you guys have conversations with him to sort of like reaffirm all that and let him hear you guys say that, or?
He's a complete stud, stalwart, and he is. And you know, research what that means. I mean, it's tough, it's loyal, it's strong. You know, he's the opposite of a house plant. I mean, he is field corn.
Field corn.
You know, and just like field corn, I mean, doesn't need to be talked to in a certain way. It doesn't need the conditions to be, you know, perfect. Sunlight, shade, water, you know, water content, soil content. I mean, field corn, it'll burrow down for any energy that it can find, and it will rise up and start producing. I mean, that's Justin Herbert. So no, I do not need to have any conversations.
How would you assess the play of your offensive line this year?
Improved in every area. I think improved in every area. Two best tackles in the. We feel like we have the absolute best tackle group in pro football, and I thought our offensive line was much improved. Like I said, I think every player on our roster improved this year, and I think that's a testament to them, their commitment, their dedication, and to the coaching staff coaching them.
Presuming there are no staff changes or you bring your coordinators back, how much will it help him that he's not learning another new offense? Because he's had to learn 4 offenses his first 5 years in the league.
Yeah, we're excited about that. We're excited about that very thing. With the coaching staff, we're all coming back, and excited about that to help build version 2.0. And as far as coaching, you know, it was good. We improved, and but anything you're going to be talking about like last year, I mean, is last year, you know, and we did better, but now that's over, and now we want to build, be better, you know, starting this day going forward.
Joe, you just comment on the line? How you thought they played this week?
I thought they played good. Yeah, absolutely. And you had new guys in there, guys in new positions. I think the thing you look at, Daniel, is how they compete, how they communicate, you know, and how they work together, and the progress they made throughout the year. I thought they did a great job. You work to get better every day. That's what they did, and that's what they accomplished.
Here's a question for both of you. We've gone through some horrific times here lately with the fires and everything, and I noticed you're wearing the LA County Fire Department cap. I'd like you to talk about how important it is for you and your team to do things in the community like I know you have.
Yeah, you know, that's you know, the Spanos family, they jumped on it right away, and the community is so important at large to this organization, and really proud of the way we've approached the fires, and thoughts and prayers out to all of those affected. A big thank you to all the firemen and the people fighting the fires, and really proud for what we've done, and we're continuing to do it. We've given over $1 million to multiple organizations to support them through this. We had all the fan rallies and the watch parties last week. Tens of thousands of supplies were gathered. I think we filled 4 box trucks, and it's just the beginning, you know. Our guys, you know, Coach and I are going to be out in the community and helping out, and, you know, I just think it's great to see the city and everyone in the city rally around it and support it, because it's certainly a very tough time.
Joe, in relation to the staff, I know it's been a couple days, but have any other teams put in interview requests? I know Jesse been buzzy, or just maybe for anybody else on the staff or the front office?
So I'll say this, that's their business. If you guys knew me and know me, and you do, I'm not going to tell other people's news, and relay it, to the media. I've always been quiet. No one knew when I was getting any opportunities unless someone else leaked it, but I'm not going to be a leak that way. But certainly there's interest on a lot of people on our staff, and for good reason. So, but yeah, I'm not going to relay any of that information.
Do you guys expect to make any staff changes to the coaching staff? No, assuming everyone can return and doesn't get a promotion elsewhere or something like that.
No.
No.
Joe mentioned, Khalil said he had talked to us the other day about Mullen retirement and Derwin trying to recruit him not to do that. I mean, you guys have a bunch of guys who are going to be free agents, but I mean, a guy like that, what do you mean to the team this year? And is he someone that you would want to have back if he wanted to come back?
Absolutely. I love Khalil, and personally, I know Coach and I talked about it. I've texted him. We're going to get together and talk, Khalil and I, and absolutely. We want them all back. Again, Coach talked about it. These guys were special. Now, I mean, like, they love football, and we love football, and we love guys that love football, and that's what this group was. And Khalil is right there at the forefront of it, and such a special competitor, leader, person. It's rare. It's rare to get a guy of Khalil's ability and get the person he brings with it. He is a special person to be around. Absolutely loved it. I feel blessed to have been around him, and I hope we can continue to be around him.
With Joey, or I don't know, Joe, he's running into it. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, just second what Joe says. I mean, and I'm, I don't know if it's possible to get everybody back, but I want to come as darn close as it's possible to have darn near all of our players, come back, and as Joe said, nobody more than Khalil Mack. I mean, if you said who was recruiting him to come back?
Derwin.
Yeah. Add me to that group, and Joe.
Yeah.
Just with Joey's, his edge rushing partner, of course, big cap it next year after the restructures. Last offseason, just how you guys plan on approaching Joey's situation this offseason?
Yeah, those are the things we're discussing right now. We're engaged with conversations with guys on the roster, and obviously the impending free agents, which there's a number of them. So we're talking with all of them, and we'll continue to discuss that amongst our staff and come up with a game plan.
Do you think it's possible to keep him on the roster at the current cap it?
Yeah, everything's possible, Daniel. Everything's possible.
In terms of Zeke, you only had him for a couple days on the roster, but just in the discussions signing into the practice squad or anything, was there any discussions about possibly for next season?
Yeah, well, I think when you bring a guy in like Zeke, when we brought him in this late in the process, it's a chance for, one, you're bringing the veteran with experience, to help you through the playoffs, and and see where it goes from there. But that was a decision in the short term, and just like a lot of signings are, hey, we in mid-year, like, hey, let's get someone in to help us and see where it goes from there.
Joe, what's your mindset right now going into the offseason, especially when you're going to have a full one? You're not coming into Baltimore in just a month to lay ahead.
Yeah, you feel like, I mean, from a GM perspective, personnel perspective, you feel like you're ahead right now. I do personally. That's a fine, isn't it? Make it right. But no, I think we've had the scouts. They understand our scouting process, both pro and college, and so we've obviously been looking at pro players all year, assessing the free agent market from a pro standpoint, and our college scouts have been out. Reports are done. Fall reports are done. We've already had meetings. We've already got a preliminary board set. So, go back last year, I was still in Baltimore at this time, and so you definitely feel ahead and ready to hit the ground running. And we'll be getting coaches' assignments out next week and letting them start attack evaluations and keep rolling through it.
I know both of you are big on self-evaluation. Mm-hmm. What have you thought about you can do, will do to make yourselves and the team better next year?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, I mean, you're searching for those things on a daily basis, and those are the things that that get you out of that post-game losing mode. So that's going to be a daily, weekly, monthly list, and we'll be attacking them.
Yeah.
Firm believer. I mean, you can't change everything all at once, but you can improve one thing at a time, all the time. Dovetail on what Joe was just saying too. I mean, there's a ton of excitement for Ben Herbert and his staff,
Yeah.
and what they're going to be able to accomplish with a full off season. At least, I mean, two to 3 more months
Right.
than what we had last year. Excited for first-year players, rookie players, and first-year players here. Now they're going through it, everything they did for a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're not doing everything they're going to do throughout the offseason through the year will be done for a second time, and that's my opinion. That's when a player can make his biggest influx of a jump, from year 1 to year 2. So all those good things, want to build off them. It's not the ultimate. It wasn't the ultimate success, but there was success. There was success from this season, and we want to build on it. Build, better. Reminds me of my grandpa, Bill Harbaugh, and what he would say. It kind of went like this, like give him a cup of coffee, and the person's like, it's too hot. And Bill Harbaugh would say, better than being cold.
Jim, you mentioned Houston, you felt like a big issue offensively was just Justin not being able to do the throwing motion, sort of identify the pressure there. When you have a game like that in the playoffs, where you give up that kind of pressure, how much does that motivate or inform your decision making as you build 2.0? And Joe, if you don't mind answering that question as well.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I think with Justin and all the players, like we want to support Justin the best we can, and that's adding, building around him. You can support him. I've said it over and over. You can support him in so many ways, and to help him. You can help him with defense. You can help him with offense, offensive line, weapons, everything. So that's how I view it. Like hey, let's make everyone around Justin better, and Justin's going to keep getting better himself. I mean, the guy is. I've not been around a quarterback like him. The work ethic, the determination, the leadership. It's awesome to see. He lifts others up, and we want to just bring more people around him to lift up.
He inspires you to do anything and everything to put him in the best possible position, because he is doing anything and everything that he can for this team. As I said, nobody does more for this organization than Justin Herbert. So at all times, we're inspired to do anything and everything we can to put him in good positions.
Do you, when a game like that happens in the playoffs, do you put more stock in it as far as what your weaknesses are, or are you looking more body of work overall in the course of the season? When like a game like that in the playoffs, in a big moment, when teams are obviously going to go game plan specific, show you, very specific things about how you have to improve the roster.
I think you look at it from a big picture standpoint. You can't make a decision. You can't make a snap judgment on any one situation. You can't. I think our job is to look at it from a full 360 view and make decisions from there, in personnel certainly and coaching. We don't. The coaches, they'll get together and they'll look at the whole season, and self-scout, and we do the same thing from a scouting standpoint. You got to look at everything. You can't take one game and say, because listen, we've had other games, and, that we lost. And, I love the way we rebound there, this year. We had tremendous stories of adversity and overcoming it. And, that's what this was, and we're moving forward.
Jim, as you finished a year back in the NFL, were there things this year that were different from, how different was this year from when you were last in the NFL? Like things that stood out or anything that surprised you this season from the last time you were coaching in the NFL?
Yeah, I really don't have that list in front of me as much. Just I can tell you, and I've said it before, it's my favorite ball team I've been on. And I say ball team, my family at home, my two great loves, my family at work and my family at home. And this was the favorite ball team I've ever been on. And that's and I give all credit to just everybody that was here and the way they attacked, the way they went about their business. And that's players, coaches, staff, the entire organization.
Do you anticipate any off-season procedure
With me,
Yes.
personally? Thanks for asking. An ablation on the heart and going to get a hip replacement too. So soon.
Joe, your first season as a GM, did it go like you expected, you anticipated? How was it different?
Yeah, obviously it's different being in this chair than the chair I used to sit in. In terms of working with Jim, no, it didn't go. It went better than expected. I knew it was going to be great, but man, it was a blast. And so this organization was great. The support from Dean and John, awesome. And it went better than expected, to be honest with you. Taking what happened on the field out of it, I think I told you guys this just on the side, you don't realize when you come into the role for the first time, one, it helps to have a head coach who's been a head coach, and that was a tremendous benefit for me. Someone who sat in that chair can help me as a first-time GM, and the communication with the coach has been awesome all year, and it's led to a lot of great decisions for our organization, and I'm really proud of that. The support I had from all the scouts and the staff, Chad and Lou and the pro side and all our college guys, and it's been awesome. So, but I know I came in thinking I was prepared, but I didn't know how prepared I was, and that goes back to the training that I got from Ozzie and Eric, and didn't realize how much they taught me through my 26 years of Baltimore. So I feel very blessed.
And I'm not going to let him outdo me in giving gratitude. On a daily basis, there wasn't one day where I wasn't excited and didn't recommit myself, go past that security guard, hey, top of the morning, welcome, coach, and the thrill I had to that I was going to be around our players, our coaches, but the day was always going to start off with getting with Joe, and could not have a better general manager. Just his leadership style, the way he pulls out the best in everybody that he associates with, coaches, players, staff, the scouting personnel department, and he's going to be humble. He's not going to take a deep, long bow, but he deserves to. He should. And great training. I get that, but you're special, Joe. You're incredible at what you do, and we all have tremendous appreciation for you. And you are a huge part of why this is my favorite ball team. And like Justin Herbert, I would follow him to the gates of hell and back. I would follow you to the gates of hell and back. Incredible job.
Appreciate that, Coach.
Joe, I wanted to ask you, was there something that you did, and obviously it was 26 or so years you weren't in the chair, now you're in the chair. Is there something that you always wanted to do that you did now, whether it was make the call or, I don't know, turn off the lights or something? Was there something, it was like the first time that you could do it, that you always wanted to do?
I've never looked at it like that, Chris. I really haven't. Like, I've always looked at it like just be the best you can be in the role you're in. And to be honest with you, I screwed up the first call. I didn't enjoy it as much. And it actually wasn't my first call, but it was my first call as a GM. Everyone told me to enjoy the moment, and I didn't. I was so worried about everything being right when I called Joe, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going to be better when I call Ladd. I was a little more loose and enjoyed it more. I just was so worried about, hey, time, this and that, and like, so I butchered that personally. I don't think I screwed it up like calling them, talking to them.
I got to tell you that what makes Joe special I'll give you, there's a long list there, but the thing that stands out in my mind is the thing that makes coaches special or players special, but he does his job from the heart, not out of the manual, not out of the book of here's how you're supposed to be, here's what you're supposed to do. It's instinct, it's heart, it's tremendous, leadership skills, and not afraid to think out of the box, but knows that sometimes it's better to be in the box. Yeah. It's just, but it's, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but or wrong, but that strikes me. And I feel that way about players as well. But I'll take Joe every day and twice on Sunday. Twice on Sunday for sure, because it's from the heart. It's not out of the manual.
Jim, you mentioned quite a few times this is your favorite team that you've had or been a part of as a coach.
And that's no disrespect to any other ball team I've been on, but this is it's because of the incredible moments, the incredible moments with this team, and I love the way they're not afraid to take on any challenge or any new challenge, and the way that they respond to challenges and the way they compete, and their give a heck factor. It's so high, and the talent is so high. So that's just love being around them, and every single guy. Hopefully, we can come as close as ever been done to having version 2.0 be with as many of the guys on our current roster and coaches.
But what was your favorite team before this one?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Yeah. I guess I'm breaking my own rule. I'm breaking my own rule right now, and it's probably astute of you to call me out on that, because I hate to compare. I hate to compare. When you compare, somebody gets diminished. So I'm not going to compare any other ones, but I am standing firm that this is my favorite ball team I've ever been on.
Joe, you mentioned in February your intro presser.
The best darn job I've ever had.
You mentioned at your intro presser in February that a big part of the roster building process was getting the comp pick churn going, the cycle going.
Yeah.
Big part of how you built the roster this year was a lot of guys on one-year deals.
Sure.
Really performed well. Elijah was on last year's deal. So now as you head into this, how do you sort of balance getting that cycle going while also, keeping around a bunch of guys that were, really productive on some of these one-year deals?
Yeah, one, we have a lot of them. So, I think the goal is to hit the gain comp picks every year. That is the goal. But the reality of it is some years you may not be able to do that, and I think you have to objectively look at that and say, hey, this may be a year, this may not be a year. Last year we're actually fortunate, I think, to end up with 3 of them, just the way the market fell. But there's opportunities for you to get involved in the comp pick game through other ways. Players get cut, they don't affect the comp pick. So I think you look at it strategically that way. If a player who's cut can help you, then you go down that path if it's doable. So there's ways to work through it. That's always the goal, to work the comp pick. But there's some years where you're not going to be afforded the opportunity.
The call between Ladd and Alt?
Yeah.
What did you do different?
I probably was. I just enjoy. I focused on enjoying it more. That's everyone told me. Make sure you enjoy the moment and take it in, and it just came and went. It was fun calling Joe. I mean, I was fired up to call Joe. Make no mistake about it. I was fired up. He was there. We knew what we were getting. We were excited before I made the call, but I didn't take it in. I didn't absorb it emotionally, mentally, personally. I don't think I screwed anything up in terms of the operation of it.
You've enjoyed it every day since, I'm sure.
You're damn right. I'm reaping the rewards since. So but I just, I said to myself, you know what? Gosh, I didn't really absorb the moment, because honestly, I don't look at it that way, personally. And then I said, all right, let's have fun with it, and so had a little more fun with all the rest of the calls, I'd say.
From a salary cap standpoint, obviously a different scenario this year than last year. How do you kind of look at it when you have more money to spend?
Yeah, I think you look at it from a responsible way like we did last year. Yes, we had less money to spend, but we were responsible with our spending. I think you always stay responsible with your spending on the salary cap. There's a lot of things to balance, and in the end, if you get reckless, you pay the piper eventually. And so we're going to be responsible. We're going to be clinical in our approach, and there's going to be a plan to it, and that's how we're going to roll.
Jim, you mentioned that you feel like you have the best tackle duo in the league. One of those, Rashawn, it's through his 4th season now, and he's been up for an extension since last year, but now he's heading into his 5th-year option. Just how are you guys going to approach this situation? Are you open to getting an extension done with Rashawn this offseason?
I'd say yes, we're open to having those conversations, and we've talked through it. We're talking through it right now as a staff, and like I said, there's players on the roster we're going to talk to. There's players that are under expiring contracts that we're going to speak with. So, yep.
How would you assess this draft class? I mean, you had 4 guys who were significant contributors.
This past draft class?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought they did outstanding. I'm really proud of all of them. And I'd say we had more than 4 guys that were significant contributors. So certainly 4 guys got the attention, deservedly so. But I'm really proud of the effort and the work ethic and the approach that they all taken. And like Coach said, I expect more next year from all of them, because if you guys think about the draft, player ends the season in December, January. He goes right to training or rehab, whatever he's doing, but he's getting himself ready for the combine. He's getting himself ready for a 40, the short shuttle, vertical jump, 3-cone, like all that timing and testing. Now they have a chance to focus on their bodies in football and develop themselves from a football standpoint. So I expect big jumps from all of them, and I am looking forward to it.
Jim, how did you feel about the run game this year?
It improved.
How close to you and your offensive staff in the offseason sort of talked about a vision for that specific phase? How close did you get this year to where you want to be as far as running the football?
I mean, we're always going to want to be better in every single area that you could possibly talk about in situational football or the phases. But I thought we had significant improvement in the run game, and also thought that that helped lead to Justin having his highest quarterback rating of his career.
How would you assess the pass catchers overall this season?
Good. There was, so much really good to build on. I mean, much excitement. That's certainly a big piece. Big piece of my excitement going forward. Playmakers welcomed, and along with competitors.
Now, if you guys were going to add pass catchers, whether that be receiver, tight end, what kind of skill sets do you think the group right now needs to provide the type of, support that you're talking about for Justin?
I think Coach just said it, playmakers welcome. I don't think you pigeonhole any type of skill set. We want guys to make plays, and that's all. We have them on this roster, and we're going to add more. That's the goal. We just kind of create that competitive environment. But we have a lot of guys on this team that made a lot of plays for us this year, big plays, critical plays for us, and I'm talking about game-winning plays, that are here, and they're going to build off of that, and we'll add to it, and we'll get better and better. But I don't think there's any type of specific skill set. We just want playmakers.
Going back to, Ricky making a jump in year two, just how exciting is it for Joe in particular, given, he moved to the right, first year moving to the right side, now he has a full off season to kind of, continue to work on that.
Yeah, it's funny getting the Joe, like when we drafted him, I think his agent called me and he said, hey, right tackle? I said, yep. And he's like, okay, I'll make sure he starts getting, he wants to know he's going to start getting the reps. And Joe was out there I think the 2 weeks before he came in for a rookie mini camp, out there working on right tackle sets and stance. And so that's the type of guy he is. And so, wow, what he's doing the day after he's getting drafted. So now he's going to have that whole offseason to build and grow. And him and I have talked. He's talked with Coach and all the assistants, Greg and Coach Devlin, and he's got a plan already. And I'm just the sky's the limit for him. So can't wait to see what he comes back as.
Bradley is set to be a free agent here. Just what are you guys thinking as far as the approach at center moving forward?
Yeah, that's one of those things where, like Coach said, we want everyone back, and we'll talk with Bradley and his representatives, and obviously there's other, we have to assess everything, but those dialogues I already had conversations with Bradley, and we'll continue them, and it's a long process. The season ends and free agency doesn't begin until March 15th, I think, so or right around then, and you work towards it, but I think the thing is we'll have open dialogue and conversation with all our players, not just Bradley, every player on this roster, and we'll see what we can do.
He did a heck of a job. I mean, and I think one thing that really always stands out in my mind, sometimes a little bit more than other things, is played 18 games. Mm-hmm. Played 18 games. I don't know that anybody played more snaps.
I think he played the most snaps.
Played the most snaps on offense. So, yeah, want guys like that back.
Yeah. In terms of going into the offseason, we're trying to retain guys, but also recruit new guys. How much does the on-field help, which you gained last year, but also you've got the complex now that you didn't have this past year? I mean, it was still being constructed and everything. How much does that and what Ben Herbert did and just a total package now help attract?
I walk in here, like he says, every day you walk in, you're trying to get better, and you're just reinvigorated every day you pull into the lot. And not every place is like that, and this place is special. What the Spanos family built here is unbelievable. The players here in the building know it. They talk about it. Other players hear about it. What Coach and the staff and the players did on the field was awesome, and the energy, people see that, and the other people feel that, and this is a destination. There's no doubt about it. LA is a great city. The weather's unbelievable. The organization's great. Great coaching staff. Great teammates. This is an attractive place to play for sure.
Yeah, same. We'll take advantage of the bold. That's been my message to our players. Take advantage of the resources here, of Ben Herbert, all of it. Everything in this building, and do anything and everything in your power to be better. We're going to be here, and we've got no better place to go. So yeah, between now and April 24th, 5th, and 6th, yeah. It's an outstanding time to show Joe and the personnel staff what kind of gains you're making over the next few months, weeks, months.